Hello, my name is Persephone Abbott, and I live in Amsterdam. I was born in California and raised in the Bay Area. One of my favorite characters in my novel, Idle Opportunities, is a rather clueless fellow named Harry. Harry is Californian, a baby boomer, and he comes from an affluent family, manufacturers of cough syrup. And aside from his interest in medicinal products of an alternate kind, Harry is definitely the black sheep of the family, and the family tries to keep him as far away as possible from the business. By the mid-1960s, Harry, who's in his early 20s, decides that he wants to invest some money in real estate. Of course, he told his folks that he was planning a golf course, but having gotten funds, he then starts a commune. Quite quickly, Harry's social experiment goes wrong, attracting all sorts of fringe political groups and eventually the FBI. By 1970, Harry realizes that his utopia is falling apart and his own life may be in danger. He decides to write his memoirs and hides them until they are finally discovered years later in 1992. Harry appears in Idle Opportunities mainly in the form of documentation, a letter, a note, etc. And here at the end of the novel, Cynthia is reading Harry's memoir. It's obvious from the state of writing that Harry, as usual, is fairly incoherent. But every once in a while, Harry drops some pertinent information. One of the themes in Idle Opportunities is social clubs, looking for an ideal society or fluid society, or running from social identity by trying to take on an alternate social identity. And the novel ends with a professional production of the opera The Magic Flute by the composer Mozart. And this opera is known to be based on the Freemasons' rituals. And as an aside note here, I actually have a little certificate that was issued to my grandmother upon the death of my grandfather because he was a master mason, and she was issued this little card so that she could be admitted into whatever lodge she happened to be passing. But back to my novel, Idle Opportunities. As a counterpart in my book, there's a fictive social club, which is based on a completely made-up name of a completely made-up tribe of Native Americans. And there's a bit of a joke on the use of Native American identity to promote products or some sort of alternate reality. And so here's Harry in 1970. My parents weren't, as the psycholingo goes, very involved with me. Dad had a thing for Lana Turner, kept him fairly busy. Could have been that mother was a groupie too, but I don't know any more about that. Just that Lana pushed an awful lot of cough syrup for a number of years. It was pretty delicious, if I do say so myself. One thing we could all agree on as a family. There was even a plan to make a cookbook with recipes using Murray's Lung Tonic Supreme, but that got canceled somehow, something to do with Lana's agent. Oh well. When I got to middle school, my parents promised me at least 2 canoes from the Land O'Lake series if I graduated, which motivated me a heck of a lot more than all those tutors. Yeah, so they promised me canoes that time round. Got Tommy the neighbor boy to thank for the complete canoe collection. He was in that way an overachiever. His sister passed me the answers. She got them from a Cal College student who did the gardening at their house on the side. Well, he did the front yard too. Don't know about the back. His folks never let me in the place. Told me to go glue myself someplace in cough syrup. They were pretty decent people. Not great, but they were busy recycling. Lots of cans in their driveway before it became de rigoreux. Way ahead of their time. Me and Tommy canoed around for a while, but once we got an opportunity that wasn't a canoe, a DeSoto, idling at a gas station, took it down the coast. Tomo was bigger than me, had failed a few grades, so we just acted like he was my big brother. Not false, but not true. But later it was he who decided to sell my canoes and donate the money to the dog shelter. Fine by me. Didn't really know what to do with all them canoes. Personally, I found out that I could only use one at a time. After Tommy left for Chicago, my folks signed me up to the Junior Chiptolalas. I wasn't too thrilled, but it meant that me and my folks could continue not to see each other. Benefit all round, I realized. They told me to do right with the Chiptolalas, and they would make sure that I graduated high school. Seemed like an all right plan. Harry in Idle Opportunities.